Good good morning. This is your local broadcast. Good morning. Welcome to the show that is about my crippling dysmorphia, dysphoria. I'm not sure what I would call it, but it's one of those problems. I don't like the way I look. So let's try this again. Good morning. It is Wednesday, September 13th, 2023, and welcome to the show that is about me looking at myself on screen and wanting to end it all. Well, just want to try that again. Okay. Good morning. It is Wednesday. Oh, the levels. Good morning and welcome to the show. Today is Wednesday, September 13th, 2023, and this is the show about me waking up in the morning feeling like complete garbage and trying to get to a place where complete garbage feels normal. You know how like when you do stuff long enough, it just kind of like becomes the new normal and you're fine with it? That's what my life is. So anyways, we've got a lot to talk about today. Not a lot in terms of topics, but a lot in terms of how I've had it. I've had it. The content farm that is Apple. The content farm that is Apple. We know Apple. We love Apple. I am a Apple fanboy, fangirl. Call me what you will. I'm a fan of Apple. I've been a fan of Apple. I just think their products are designed better than the others. I think that the ease of use, entry level products, they're easy to use. My wife had an Android and Windows products all her life. Last year, she switched to an iPhone, and she was like, "Why did it take me so long?" So it just it's better. It's better, guys. I don't want to hear it in the fucking comments. It's better. Apple's better. But we do have a problem that is occurring lately. Every one of these events is absolute garbage. These new Apple iPhone events are garbage. They have come up with nothing new since 2012, except for the Dynamic Island. Do you guys know what the Dynamic Island is? You know what we could do? I don't want to do that, but because I don't have the patience for it. But this phone here is an iPhone 14. Okay, we have an iPhone 14. This was last year's phone, which was just like the phone before it, minus the little notch. Is not a notch; it's a hole now. It was a notch before. That phone was just like the 11, which was just like the 10, with a better camera. Better is subjective, right? You can throw let's not go too hard yet. Okay, what else did they unveil? They also unveiled a new Apple Watch. Oh wow, another $500 watch that does nothing but tell us the text that is on our wrist. They are selling it. My opinion is that they are trying to sell it to be a medical device so that it can be covered under insurance, so that they can bill insurance more for the product and the consumer less. I think that is probably the case. Everything that they add to these watches, which is barely anything at all, anything they add to these watches is usually medically related. For older people that have heart conditions, people that need to keep track of their heart rate, their walking, which is fine, but you could also have like a Fitbit or something smaller on your wrist. A ring. A ring. You could have a ring that does the same shit. But then, last year they unveiled this Apple Watch Ultra. Sucker. I bought it. Do I wear it? No, I don't wear it. When do I wear it? I wear it sometimes, but when do I wear it? When I cut grass. Why? Because people never call me throughout the entire week. No one calls me, no one texts me throughout the entire week. They only call or text me with important information when I'm cutting grass. So I have to look at my watch. Oh, but why'd I buy the Apple Watch Ultra? Well, it was bigger. It was thicker, it looked more robust, and I thought would wear it all the time. I work in quote unquote construction, where I would be sticking my hands into walls, banging it up against stuff. So I thought it'd be more durable, better for me. It turns out I don't wear it because it's so goddamn clunky, and it gets, it's better for durability, but it gets stuck on everything. And it drives me crazy, so I just don't wear it. You can definitely feel it on your wrist when you're wearing it. It's heavy. It's big. The titanium is a little bit rougher, has a rougher finish to it. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the uninventive ways, or the ways I feel like it's over. It's getting to over. Because now everybody, including myself, is talking about Apple right now. Everyone's talking about Apple right now. For what, though? It's the same phone with USB-C. I'm not really all that concerned about it. Because there's still Mac products that use the, Lightning cable. There's still Mac products. I have the keyboard on my desk. Right there. That's not USB-C. That's not USB-C. That's Thunder or Lightning. So I still have to have one on my desk. So I don't really care about the USB-C. Now the camera. The camera. How long until they just can't make the camera more realistic? How long until it's just like, this is exactly what your eye sees? But they can't do that, can they? I'm not buying the upgrades for this one. And usually I do. Usually I am a guy that buys every new iPhone. I like to have the latest technology. It just doesn't seem to be an interesting upgrade for me. I'm not that interested. But then we have the content farm. YouTubers love Apple events. Any tech reviewer loves Apple events. Why? Let me show you. Of course. What am I? Look at this. Guys, this is all happened yesterday. This all happened yesterday. Right? Not this one. That says 5 days ago. But this all happened yesterday. Anybody. Sarah Dietschy. Girl, you've been around for too long. She actually kills it, though. She's I remember watching her when she first got started. She has massively improved. But she's only got 11,000 views. But that was 7 hours ago. 109,000 views. 4,000 views 12 hours ago. This is just the Bay Area news, so we're not going to count that. Any kind of legacy media, and I consider local news legacy media. Any type of mainstream media, I should say, not legacy media. Mainstream media. Any type of mainstream media is not going to get it's just not going to get the engagement that, say, MKB would get, because MKB goated. Your average consumer, you guys fuck with that guy? He's the shit. I love everything he does. because I feel like he actually gives you the real opinions. I love his days in the life of real use cases. I'm not sure how much I can show, whose I can show on this. Oh, yesterday, guess what, guys? No copyright claims, no strikes from YouTube, no. I don't even think there was a spicy take yesterday. And I was live for a long time yesterday, playing yeah. Anyways, so can we phone repair guru? He says in 60 seconds. I don't know. I don't know how he would feel about me using his content. It doesn't fucking matter because no one watches this anyway. So, oh shit. Can you guys hear that? No. I'm not sure why it does this. Oh, that's because I fucked up. It doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. Um, Mac OS screen capture, that should be helping me. We're gonna try something really quick here. We back, boys. What's up, Casey? We're gonna try this again because for whatever reason, I gotta come back in here and change the settings every day. And it's frustrating. Let's see. Control. Hold on, man. I'm struggling again. All right, there we go. So yeah, there's nothing that was actually of any substance that added to that phone. I am a fanboy of Apple, and I feel not even the color. So the Pro and the Pro Max, the colors are garbage. Look at this. Let's
Apple just wrapped up their September 12th Wonderlust
I think
event
this
where
dude would
they
be
just
okay
announced
with
the
me
brand new
I don't think
iPhone
I'm gonna get
15
sued.
and iPhone 15 Pro. And it has a lot of people
Look at this. These are the colors. This is the colors. This is the colors for the most expensive phone that you can buy from Apple. This is the colors. Also, take a look at this camera arrangement. Oh, wait a minute. It's the same. It's always going to be the same. It was the same as the one before. You know what else did they add? They added this little button here. Maybe that's not the button. I think it's on the other side. They added this button there for customizable button options. Yeah, it's not like they're like gradients, a gray gradient from blue to whatever. It's frustrating. I don't see anything that was like absolutely like mind blowing other than that button and the USB C. And like I said about the USB C, I don't care. I could just use the Thunderbolt. Or sorry, Lightning. I could just use the Lightning because I still have accessories that need to use Lightning. They haven't like they haven't killed the lightning cable yet, because they still make products that have to charge with lightning cables. So I'm not really sure about what's going on there. Oh, that's what we were talking about. The content farm of Apple. When Apple launches anything, you're guaranteed at 5 minutes after that 5 minutes after that announcement, 5 minutes after that event ends, something is coming out. Now, Wall Street Journal, 142,000 views in 13 hours. 43,000 views. Collectively, Apple got 27 million views from this event. I wonder if they monetized. I wonder if YouTube paid them at all, because that's 27 million views in 18 hours. That's insane. This guy, I like his reviews. He's pretty like dead on with tech reviews. I tend to believe him when he talks. 107,000 views, 15 hours. Pretty good. If Apple stopped doing these events, would it hurt these channels? That's my question. I used to own a Jeep, and Jeep is basically a Lego car. Everything comes off and goes back on. There's third party companies. There's third parties that make accessories for just about everything, right? So and the reason why Jeep doesn't make these things better is because they know that there's a market around that. There's a market around that. There's a market around third party accessories. Apple could make a phone that was absolutely scratch resistant, unbreakable, but why would they do that when they sell licenses for the cases? For screen protectors, for all that stuff. Why would they do it? I just don't. It's we some people tend to like give Apple the hero status, like, oh my God, could you see what Apple did? Listen, I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan of Apple. Everything I own, tech wise, my whole entire house is wired with Apple. All I have to do is say the magic words, and things get done around the house. I turn on my lights. In my living room, everyone is zoned. My garage door, my car, everything has an Apple element to it. I think I own every Apple product. Not every Apple product, but like my computer is Apple. My speakers in the house are Apple. I don't have the display. I'm not paying that price for an Apple display. It doesn't fit my purposes, so I don't have that. But pretty much everything else that Apple makes, I have. iPad, iPad Pro. Got an iPad here just for music. iPad Pro for drawing. iPhone, Apple Watch, the computer, Apple TV, the HomePods. My wife has an Apple Watch. I have an Apple Watch Ultra. My wife has an Apple Watch and an iPhone. So it's not that I'm saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that maybe we've been tricked. Maybe it's a content farm. Maybe it isn't. You know what I mean? Maybe it isn't so much the products as it is the content that's created around the products. That's what I think in my conspiratory mind this morning. That can be completely false. I'm sure it is. But I'm saying you add a button and make the charge cable USB-C, and I don't really care. And for me to say I don't really care is saying a lot. Like, I'm their target market. How many other people are like, I don't care? Sarah Dietschy, again, I bet she'd be okay with me using her video, but what can she say that nobody else has said? You know what I mean? I think that neon sign in the back is sick. Dang, I need to get some shit like that. It makes the room look so good. Yeah, that's probably what I need to do. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about this Apple content farm, or people farming Apple for content. Is Apple even trying? Listen, Greg's Gadgets, I don't think they are. I think a lot of people are just phoning it in. Let's talk about Starfield phoning it in. This is, by and large, I did not want to believe people when they say it, but this is just a reskinned Skyrim. This is Skyrim in space. And am I playing it? Yes. Am I loving it? I'm getting there because it's exactly the type of game that I want to play. But I need the graphics to be better. I need the dialogue to be quicker. Apple doing the same shit. This is just a reskinned iPhone 12. What is that when they released the third camera? It's a reskinned iPhone 12 with worse colors. Every year they get worse colors, and then the tech reviewers are like, "I'm getting this one." Yeah, but you are going to get that one. That's the best one that you can get, and it's the most, the color is like the most standout color. And if you want everyone to know that that's the phone that you get, how many people do you think that, like, when they buy that phone, tech reviewers on YouTube, how many people do you think buy that phone actually use that as their daily driver? When you have companies sending you thousands of phones, I wonder how many are using it as a daily driver. I'm really scared to click on one of these videos because I don't want another ding in my YouTube thing. So we're going to pass on CNBC. We're going to pass on Wall Street Journal. We're definitely not going to do the Apple one. That's going to go, no. Greg's Gadgets. Let's see. How long is this video? 16 minutes. We're not going to go through the whole thing. I just want to hear what he has to say and see how I feel about what he has to say. Is that cool?
Deal than most people are making them out to be. So let's kind of walk this back a bit, right? Because I think we have to take everything in context. Now, yes, I know. Phone upgrades for everyone, whether it's Apple just wrapped up their September 12th Wonderlust event where they just announced the brand new iPhone 15 and iPhone 15 Pro. And it has a lot of people asking right now, is Apple even trying anymore? Yeah, I have seen this reaction all over the internet, all over Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it nowadays. But people seem genuinely upset about the improvements made to the iPhone 15 and iPhone 15 Pro.
Right.
And they are calling these iPhone updates kind of incremental and nothing to really get excited over. But
very incremental.
Listen, I kind of don't know if I agree with that sentiment because I think that these phone upgrades are actually a bigger deal than most people are making them out to be.
I just had the 7 for the last 2 years, and now a few months ago I got a what's a SE3, which is basically an 8. I got you. iPhone SE3. It's basically a remake of an 8. Yeah, I feel you. That's the phone that I suggested my grandma get that phone because she needed a new phone. She had an iPhone something, and I suggested she get that phone because it's just way too. The other ones were way too much tech for her. And then when she got it, I was like, "Dang, this is just an old repackaged iPhone." But it allows you to get the upgrades and stuff, right? Like all the new upgrades and stuff. And that's where Apple does really well is their software. The software is fire every single time. It makes it easier and easier to use. The hardware itself is just kind of meh, but like it's not meh. Let me say that. It's not mid. It's the hardware is good. The redesigns are it's an old headphone, but 7 wouldn't update. So yeah, I got yeah. But because the software is where it's where I think the phone shines. um, software upgrades, the ease of use, and all that kind of stuff, the shortcuts. That's what I love about Apple. I love the handoff abilities where I could send anything at any time to one of these computers, one of these, to my TV, to anything pretty quickly. And or it goes over, it changes over pretty quickly. I love it. But also they say about the SE, it is the most durable. You could drop it, you could spill water on it, all that kind of stuff, and you're not going to get much, you're not going to have much problems. So I don't think that's a bad move at all. If I wasn't a complete fucking Apple juicer, I would 100,000% think about getting an SE, because it really doesn't. I never. This is the iPhone 14 Pro Max. I don't know that I need it. I mean, actually, I know I don't need it. I don't need the faster processing. I don't care. I don't need the brighter screen. Don't care. I don't need a lot of what they try to sell me. I wanted to trade it in for a 12 because I wanted a bigger and slightly better camera. And it got to, oh, yeah. So I said, fuck it, I'm going to keep it and see. It's bright red and cool enough. Yeah. Again, the SE is a great phone to have. I like what I was saying. The bigger phone is great. It's crazy heavy though. And it's crazy more susceptible to scratches on the sides, and all of that stuff. And even in this clear case, man, it looks like garbage. Because the little pieces of dust get trapped under that, under the case, and that's all you can end up seeing. And I don't know. You may be able to see the dust that gets trapped under. Probably not. It's really not that big of a deal, TBH. But anyways, so yeah. What I'm looking for from Apple is something that redefines how I use this phone. I've always been a Fuby hard, but it's like home. Yeah, but I inching along. Fold Samsung, but it's too much for me. Yeah, I'll wait for the next big innovation. That's me too. I have the Mac Studio. I just bought the newer Mac Studio because I needed more computing power, and I didn't want to go full on Mac, because I don't have the desk real estate for that. And that's great. I like that. The availability of ports is amazing. Like I said, I had a Mac Mini before that. It just wasn't doing the job in terms of editing and stuff. Or like if I opened up Adobe Illustrator and wanted to watch YouTube at the same time, it was a little hard. Or if I had Photoshop and Illustrator open at the same time, plus like passing things from Procreate to Illustrator, from Illustrator to Photoshop, or vice versa, it was a little difficult, but it did the job. I got the Studio just because I needed it. And it's a tax write-off. So you either send the money to the government, or you buy yourself something you need. I think that's a no-brainer for me. But I would like to see from Apple something that helps me. Let me really think. What would I even want from Apple? To be honest, what would I want from Apple? I don't know. I think they're doing a pretty good job of fulfilling my needs at this point. But until they, come up with something. And I hear this. The iOS 17 is a pretty big game changer. So we'll see. Let's see what old Greg's Gadgets has to say.
So let's kind of walk this back a bit, right? Because I think we have to take everything in context. Now, yes, I know. Phone upgrades for everyone, whether it's Apple, Samsung, Google, who else is left in the US phone market at this point? Sorry, LG. But phone upgrades year over year have been getting smaller and smaller, more incremental. These are very mature products at this point, right? The original iPhone launched in 2007.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, what more can they do? Like, how sharper can they make the camera? We're like, shit is so sharp. Every time I take a picture, I'm like, is this even real? This is not what my face looks like. Or, I can't believe I can see the pores on my nose in this camera. Or I take a picture of my cat and you can see every little piece of fur. It's a little too much. I kind of would like to go back. Actually, I do like going back. I have some film cameras. You may not be able to see them. Back here somewhere. I think right here. This shelf right. Oh my god. Anyways, they're on the shelf. And I do like film photography because it takes me back. It slows me down. You can't just snap a picture and walk away. You could, but you really have to stop and focus and think about light and all that kind of stuff. The sharper images is just, it's killing me, bro. It's killing
me. So we're not going to get,
like, I want a better camera. I want to take better pictures. I want better video. But then the Apple sharpness that's on it, I usually take off because it's just so sharp.
Get revolutionary new changes every single year, and I feel like it's silly to kind of expect that at this point. But also in context, you have to look at the previous phone upgrades and judge them based on that. And I think this year, with the normal iPhone 15, I actually think like it looks like a pretty good upgrade, especially when you consider that last year we got the iPhone 14, which was pretty much an iPhone 13. Like it literally
not
even
pretty
really
much.
get a chip up.
It's exactly what it is. They talked about it. I don't know if they talked about it in the thing, but like, I want to show you something. This is crazy. This is the iPhone 15, which is a repackaged, more refined version of the iPhone. This is the 15. This is a repackage, a refinement of the iPhone 14 Pro. So all the Pro shit that we spent $1,500 on last year, or $1,000 on last year, comes in at $599 this year. It's crazy. Yeah, Team Matcha. In the colder months, like when it starts to get to fall, I love matcha. I'll drink coffee in the summertime, like usually espresso in the summertime, but matcha during the fall and all that kind of stuff. Do they have to make a new one every year to compete? I don't think anyone would compete with Apple if they decided not to do it. You know what I mean? Right. I completely agree. I bet you if Apple decided we're not going to make you a new phone next year, the other companies would rush to make the new phone to compete with Apple's sales. I don't think it would drop Apple sales at all. I think it would make the other companies look like fucking money grubbing scumbags. And then Apple would win because of that. And then they would just make the new phone the following year, and it would change things. You know, it would change the way new tech comes out. The problem is, and Casey, you're pretty tech savvy, but every 151 days, and it might even be shorter now, there's new tech entering our space. Every 151 days, new technology enters the space. Now, if you have app developers making things that are brand new to, so this iOS 17 is going to be capable of doing this, that, and the other thing. And then, we'll take this for example. The new iPhone 15 is getting rid of that mute button, and they're using, the mute toggle on the side. They're making a physical, like a button that is like you can customize its actions by hitting it once or hitting it twice. My Apple Watch Ultra has the same thing. App developers take advantage of that and they create something new technology, new shortcuts, new ways to use the product. But then there's always more, right? Every 151 days, new tech enters the space, and it pushes hardware manufacturers to go a little harder, to push a little further. That is the advancement of technology. That's just how it works. But I don't know if we need it every year. How about you just make a phone that's kind of future proof for the next like they do with TVs? They do that with TVs. They kind of just push the boundaries of what's possible in terms of TV. Like 4K to 8K. Nobody needs 8K. So there's very few cable companies. Like if we're thinking in terms of cable, I don't even know if Apple or YouTube can give you full, like, actual 4K. So any type of, I know Netflix doesn't broadcast in real 4K, it's Ultra HD. So all these 4K TVs that we have out there, they're future proof. You can have them for 10 years and you're probably going to be okay. 10 years is a bit much, but 5 years. But we used to do that in IT. We used to run stuff like Category 6 data cables that was shielded. Nobody had the technology that would actually use Cat 6 cables. Each run was $175 back then, which was 2001 to 2005, which is a lot of money. It's probably $300 to $400 now for one cable run from, under 100 and some feet, and it doesn't matter. But no one had that technology. We barely have that technology now. But people would spend more to future-proof their building, their IT infrastructure that way. That, to me, makes more sense. If I was a manufacturer that was actually does things that Apple says they do, they say they care about the consumer, they care about the customer, they care about the stories of the customer and how their products help those customers on a daily basis. I call bullshit on that, because if they did, they would create a phone that, like, and they're just not gonna. They just don't market it as that. They should say, like, listen, if you're looking for a phone that's going to be a great phone for 5 years and it's going to take up, less real estate in your pocket. It's going to be scratch, dust, water resistant. You're going to get all the upgrades for it, and you'll never have to get another new phone within 5 years. This is the phone for you. They don't do that. They come out with a new fucking phone every year that is incrementally better than the next one and tell you why you need to upgrade to the new one. It's like corporate greed in a way of with a little bit of mixed of, like, fashion. You know what I mean? Every season, there's always a new trend. And Apple tends to...
Great, it came with the same A15.
I thought we were on the Apple website for a second. I was trying to check out the colors. I just don't think that we need a new phone every year. I understand why they do it. I understand why they do it. I understand why people buy it. But I think most people nobody needs the new phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have the 14, you don't need the 15. If you have the 13, you don't need the 15. You're probably good, unless for some reason you make money off of, discussing the new phones. You know what I mean? If you make money discussing the new phones, then you should buy the new phone. And everybody else, I think you're good. 2, 3, 5 years. Wait until like what you just said, Casey. Wait until your phone isn't able to take the updates anymore and get a new one. Because I think it does exactly what it needs to do.
Chip as the iPhone 13. But look at this iPhone.
But is that Apple or is that YouTube? Is it Apple or the state of the media? You know, the rush to like the rush to review, the rush to be the first person to have the new iPhone 15 hands-on review straight from Cupertino. You know, I think that is a major player in it. Like I said, it's a content farm. It's a rush to see. It's a symbiotic relationship between the YouTubers and Apple. What happens if they don't review that video? Well, in this guy's case, Greg's Gadgets, with currently sitting at, where do I see the views at? Why can't I see the views? Anyways, he's got 290K subs, and last time I checked, it was like 170,000 views on this video. Why can't I see? Am I missing it? Am I missing the view count? I don't know. 15 hours. Oh, duh. 108,000 views. If Greg's Gadgets doesn't make a video talking or reviewing, if Greg's Gadgets doesn't make a video reviewing the new iPhone hands-on or first looks, he loses out on 108,000 views. I don't know how much money he makes or what he does with his sponsorships, but it looks like he's doing pretty damn good. He's got this 70% off. He's got affiliate links. This is where the money's made. Affiliate links, sponsorships. That's where the money is made. Without reviewing Apple, this boy loses out on a couple, maybe 10 G's in a day. 10 G's in less than a day. When did they say? It doesn't say the time, but less than a day. He's made 10 grand in less than a day. He'll lose out on 10 grand if he doesn't review it. Apple needs these people to review it because it increases the hype. It increases the visual new shiny thing for people that are like me. In like fucking 3 months, I'm gonna be like, damn, I should get that phone because it works. They're so good at it. I just want to get to the level where I'm producing something like this where people talk about, and every time I make a step or a misstep, I need to create some kind of content farm. Apple is the industrial content farm. They created a symbiotic relationship between creators and themselves. The creators are the lifeblood of their company. YouTube creators, tech reviewers are the lifeblood of their company. And the more small creators also see that too. And then small creators know that this is, like myself, this is a hot button topic. You have these content creators, they have to be first. They have to be first, and you have to say something. You have to say something about it. If you don't, you miss out on the money. You miss out on the opportunity to make impressions. You miss out on a lot. Let's see I went on a kind of a rant there. Let's see what
iPhone 15. It's getting a lot of nice upgrades here. So it is getting the dynamic island from the 14 Pro.
That's exactly what I just said. This is iPhone 15, one less camera. So it's not the Pro. So it's iPhone 15, but is a repackaged, refined version of the Pro at a much less, almost $300 off of the price. So it just makes sense to wait.
It's getting the 48 megapixel camera system from
the iPhone 14 Pro.
The 14 Pro. Yep. It's getting the A16 chip from the 14 Pro.
Yeah.
So it is kind of like a cheaper version of the 14 Pro, but it does have some cool software features as well. Like Apple is now kind of doing this automatic portrait mode feature. So whenever you take a picture, apparently the depth data is going to get baked into portrait mode, which I like because
No, I as somebody who loves photography, I don't like that. It seems phony to me when I see it. It seems fake. This bokeh effect, this it's not bokeh, but this blurring effect is supposed to be mimicking something of like a 50 millimeter lens, for like portrait photography. It'll keep you in sharp focus, but it'll put things in the background in out of focus. But one thing it won't do is take this table and keep that in focus as it trails off here. See how it trails off and it's still in focus? It looks mechanical to me. That's just to me, though. So a lot of people are going to like that because it mimics the same look of like a professional photographer taking headshots. But for me, I can clock that a mile away. Because it's like it's doing it digitally, algorithmically. It's probably using those LiDAR sensors and all that kind of stuff to kind of map the area around you, and then composite all that data to. It's fine. It's AI. Like we talked about the other day. There's nothing wrong with AI in the state that it's in right now. I like AI. I like AI art. I think AI art is just another form of art. You know, like I said about the ice harvester and the refrigerator manufacturer, we we have to adapt. This is coming from somebody that sucks at art, though. You know what I mean? I look at AI art and I'm like, damn, maybe I might have, maybe I could get better by just putting inputs into a Chat GPT or something.
I feel like the iPhone has so many camera modes on it now that you kind of forget to switch to them. And then sometimes it's like, well, do I really want this shot to be a portrait mode shot or a regular shot? And it's kind of nice to be able to decide after the fact rather than decide, in that moment, like, oh, which kind of photo do I want this to be?
Mm-hmm.
So things like that, I am all in favor of.
Bro.
And
Dear
also
Greg's
things
Gadgets,
are doing.
use markers in your. Use clip segments or whatever the hell they're called. Anyways, maybe we should get off Apple. I'm sorry to even do it. I am a tech fiend. I love technology. I grew up in it when I was 5 years old. I was installing telephone systems with my dad all the way up until I was 25. I'm literally playing with AI right now. I love AI. I think AI art is cool shit to me because I think it is a level of expression that I think that like hasn't been kind of like looked at. I wonder sometimes because I'm kind of this person. I have ideas that I can't necessarily manifest because I don't have the ability to like fully see them through. I don't have the money to have to pay somebody to see them through, but especially in the quality that I'm looking for. So I think AI art is going to bring art, creation, allow people to see that they are creative because their thoughts can creative enough that their thoughts are able to, their inputs are able to. I don't know. I think it's a great teaching tool. I don't see the problem. I think a lot of people are kind of like jumping on AI. But yeah, tech is just kind of one of my passions. I love technology. I love tech in every fucking aspect that you can possibly think of. I love audio tech. I love tech. I love gear, period. I love to get my hands on new technology, just check it out and see it. It's been a huge part of my life. Oh, I grew up, when I was a kid, my dad had a room for video games. So like Atari and ColecoVision and he had a Atari ColecoVision. Oh my God. I don't even know if you guys know what this is, but it is the Texas Instrument. Hold on. Not Texas Instruments. Let's just Texas Instrument. It was a gaming console. And I'm not even joking. This is my first gaming system ever. This is I'm not playing. When people say like, my dad will say this all the time, like, you're 40 some years old, dude. I'm 41, just turned 41. You're 41 years old and you still play video games. I'm like, dude, I blame you. I have had every video game console since the Atari. Even when I couldn't afford it, I would make sure I afforded it because it was just one of those things that I needed. All which leads to a better TV, which leads to better headphones, which leads to a better controller, which leads to a better setup, which leads to a comfortable chair, which leads to, you know what I mean? It's just a cycle of technology. I learned it by watching you, Dad. Exactly. My dad asked me, why do I collect shoes? And I said, why did you collect shoes? You know what I mean? He had Jordans in his closet. Dude, our generation, 1,000% nursing homes will have consoles for sure. And if they don't, I'm not fucking with that nursing home. This is the one that I had. So I had this one right here. There was some like educational games. I was maybe 3 years old when my dad brought this home. This is it. Yep. I'm 100. Yep. This is exactly it. I may still have this booklet right here. I know this is gone. But this is, and then we had ColecoVision and we had Atari as well. And my dad had every game because he was running scams at Toys R Us. My dad used to run these scams at Toys R Us where he would pick up like, he would buy the games because it was like they would go on sale at Toys R Us. But then if you took them to the other places that sold video games, they were not on sale. So what he would do is my dad would buy them from Toys R Us and then he would return them to the bigger box stores, right? Maybe I'm confusing things. He would buy it when it was on sale at Toys R Us. He would wait till they didn't go on sale, and then he would return them so he could get 2 games for the price of 1, dude. It's the craziest. My dad is Gary Vee. I'm not even joking. My dad, he's not really Gary Vee, but like my dad has been an entrepreneur all his life. Well, not all his life, but my dad sold baseball cards. My dad had 3 baseball card shops. He had one. I don't know if you know what Grand Slam is. No, you probably don't know what Grand Slam is. But like this place was like had batting cages and basketball courts, indoor basketball courts, indoor pretty much everything you can think of, including volleyball and ice hockey or arena. What do you call it? Not ice hockey, but like roller hockey. And they had these like big ass trampolines for like with basketball hoops. Back before the trampolines with basketball was a thing. My dude, my first job, right? Well, not my first job. I worked at a hospital, my first job, but my job right out of high school was working at my cousin's baseball card shop for like 2 years. And then I, not right out of high school. No. So I quit the working at the hospital because they were asking me to work 40 hours a week as a high school student. I couldn't do that. Like, obviously that's not even allowed. They had me working a 16-hour shift one time, and I was like, dude, I'm 16. I smoke weed and drink on the weekends. Like, how do you expect me to like work a 16-hour shift? I can't do that. So I quit during the summer, and then I worked at the baseball card shop. And then my dad also owned like a sporting goods, not a sporting goods, so like a sports memorabilia store, where there was no baseball cards, but it was like jackets and hats and all this kind of stuff. And it was in a mall. My dad also owned a neon sign company. My dad owned, I get a lot of what I do from him because he would just try his hands at things and just see what worked. So I get a lot of my, my habits are from my dad. He still has shit tons of baseball cards. I still be looking for, like, if I see, when we go through some of these houses, man, if I see a stack of cards, I'm like, yep, I want those. And my dad's always like, those aren't worth nothing. Dude, I have all the series one, because I really wasn't into sports as a kid. My dad, I wasn't really into sports as a kid, so he would still buy me like cards collecting. Speaking of the devil, he's calling right now. And he knows that I'm up and awake doing shit. But he would buy me like Simpsons cards or Garbage Pail cards or yeah, me too. I'm the same exact way. Dude, if you could just look at this room right now, I am still that way. Look at this. I have too much of everything. Too much of everything. It's sad. So he would yeah, he probably was. He was like, "Wait a minute. Stop giving away my secrets." My dad is still like that. He has more money than I will ever have in my life. Yet my dad is always constantly looking for the deals. He'll drive across town to spend 39 cents less on paper towels. He's just like that. It doesn't make sense. When we do these houses and stuff, I always try to tell him, like, we need to scale up. And he's like, scale up, and then it kills our profits. And I'm like, I understand, but in terms of volume, we would do more. And he's like, I can't do it. Because he has to be the guy to pick up the stuff. He doesn't want to pay somebody to pick it up. He doesn't believe that people know what he wants them to pick up. He's very, very particular, but it's made him who he is. And it's funny. He's a cool ass guy. Yeah, I'm not. This will blow your fucking mind. My dad owns a strip mall. He has a shit ton of rental properties. We flip multiple houses a year, right? So this year we did 3. The year before we did 6. So he's got money, right? And if you were to see that, you want to know what kind of car he drives? He drives a child molester van. He drives a white child molester van. I don't even know if I could say that on YouTube. He drives a pedo van. I bought him a pair of $200 shoes that were gray and white because he's not a flashy guy. Like some Adidas Ultra Boost because his knees were bad and I was trying to tell him, it is your shoes. You're wearing shoes that are too big for you, that aren't, athletic shoes. You're going to hurt yourself doing this shit with your like $26. I got them from Kohl's on sale, New Balances. And yeah, man, I listen, I'm different. I love flash. I love to be flashy. There's part of it. It's a long story, but like part of it, I was broke as shit for a very long time. Like, could not afford ramen, could not afford cat litter for my cats. So I had to go to places that would like charity places that would give out. Dude, this is actually more painful than I thought. They would give out cat food or pet food and stuff like that for people that couldn't afford it, but you had to like show that you couldn't afford it. Yeah, and now that I'm not poor, I make sure that I tell myself you cannot go back, because I can't. And sometimes I buy shit just to buy shit, and I don't know if I like the flashy thing. To be honest, it is more. It's not for me. It's to flex on other people, and it doesn't make me feel good anymore. I just like what I like, and I think I should just stick with that. Just liking what I like, because I've got a collection of shoes, but like, for fucking what? I don't wear them. I'm too old to be wearing Nike Dunks that are like pink and turquoise and shit. I look like a weirdo. Look like the guy that's trying to, like I said this before, but I look like the high school football coach that's trying to bang the cheerleaders, and I don't want to look like that. Trying to dress too young for your age. It's weird. But yeah, we had this Texas Instrument. We had Atari. We had ColecoVision. My dad had tons of games. I remember when he brought home the NES. He brought home Paperboy and Super Mario and Duck Hunt. Obviously came with the console. So the only game that he bought for that was Paperboy. And it was for me and my sister. My sister was way too little. I was 5. And he immediately jumped in and started playing Paperboy, and I was like, oh shit, it looks like a sick game, and it was so hard. It's still one of the hardest games for me. When I look at it, it gives me immediate anxiety. Oh my god. There was dude, hold on. There was this game for ColecoVision. Tarzan for ColecoVision. Okay. My dad used to say that this was the best after months of practice. That game gets crazy. It's the potholes that fuck me up. Was it the potholes? Like, there's so much you got to do. I beat Friday the 13th, and that haunted me. Yeah, you know what? I should buy an NES. The Greats in the Street. That's exactly what it was. The Greats in the Street. Because you're dodging the people that are on their... you're dodging... What is it? I think you're trying to... Oh, dude. That game was like anxiety. So this game, Tarzan... My dad was like, this is the greatest graphics of all time. It almost looks real. This was back in the day. And I played this game so much. It was insane. Dude, let me be honest. I don't even think I made it to Friday. I'm not even sure that I made it past Monday. Yeah, this is the same engine that Starfield uses. Yeah, this is gonna bring me way back. I hope you can hear this, because when you hear the audio, it's mind blowing. How bad it is. My sister and I used to play this, and then Donkey Kong Jr., which was not like the Donkey Kong Jr. we know now, but listen to this shit. It really did sound like that. It's so bad. But when he swings on the swing, or on the vines, it's absolutely insane. Developers back in the day were just... Oh, he didn't make the noise. Game of the year for sure. The goal was to just rescue your little monkey friend. And I want you to hear his like... I want you to hear his like when he swings from the things, swings from the vines. It's so bad. It was a sick game. Obviously, we're gonna get that far. Yeah, it was pretty good. The other one was Rocky. I'll show you that. The Rocky game, my dad absolutely loved that game. he still jokes every day. Like I'll show him like Assassin's Creed usually has like a really good audio, like really good sound, and like pretty good graphics and stuff, and the scenery is like beautiful. They usually take their time on it, and I'll show him that stuff, and he's like, it's not as good as the Rocky game. And the Rocky game is so fucked up, dude. I would just want to hear the roar. You can like one punch gorillas and shit. I don't get it. Okay, well that's enough of that. Let me see. Oh, I spelled that wrong. This was the controller you had to use for Rocky. This was the controller. And this button here was like for like face punch. This was like a belly punch, and this was like a low punch. Actually, I actually have this controller still. That's in my basement someplace. It does look like Bop It. What the fuck just happened? I just switched. What happened? Did I lose the... Aw. Rocky. Oh, yeah. My dad said this was the fucking graphics. This was like cutting edge shit right here. $1983. I was 1 when this shit came out. My dad and my cousins. I mean, look at this shit. Come on. The audio? Are you fucking serious? I would love to use this. I need some shit like that. Look at this. My dad was like, this is the best graphics. You hear people in the background whistling and stuff. This is just peak video game design, man. It didn't take much, and they still made millions. It does look good. It does look good for back in the day, for sure. You probably could make this game easy. Mr. T, I think this is supposed to be Mr. T. I mean, it just continues on. And occasionally you'll hear like the whistle in the background. So great. Let me see, what about the other one? My sister and I played this one for a lot. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah. The OG Donkey Kong Jr. I think I logged, back in the day when I was like a little kid, I logged hours into this game. This is what got me started. Fucking Donkey Kong Jr. And then after this, the NES, I played Mario a lot. I played Super Mario 3. Was like I put more hours into that game than I think any other game in the world. Sonic, Mario 64, Star Fox, just logging hours into it. But the thing was, when I was a kid, like the rules around video games were like, if it's summertime, you can play when it's dark, but you got to be outside. You got to be outside doing something during the summer. And then in the wintertime, you could play video games as much as possible, as much as you wanted, as long as your homework was done. I didn't do homework, so I didn't do homework, so I played video games all day. And when Nintendo 64 came out, no, Sega, no, when Nintendo 64 came out, dude, you couldn't stop me. I just, any game I could get my hands on, I played. And I played them, tried to, yeah, those, I never thought that those rules were unreasonable, so I didn't fight them on it. You know what I used to do? Back in the day, you could record, remember, like, with VHS, you could record inputs. You could take a blank tape and you could record inputs on your, on the TV. So I would plug in the RCA cables, and then I would record myself playing Sonic the Hedgehog. And I kept logs of those fucking VHSs back in the days of me playing Sonic the Hedgehog. And I, in high school, I took this interactive multimedia class where we needed to make a video or make videos, taking like a collage of videos, taking video from VHS and putting them on, man, what were those things called? Mini disc drives. And then you would like superimpose them on top of each other. Yeah, just realized how much of a fucking nerd I was back then. In high school, sharing shit with people that like I did when I was 10 years old. But it was fine. I mean, I felt like it was all right. This don't look bad either, actually. Alright. I don't know if it was creative or I just like I was just like too invested in Yo, you missed the cherry and the banana. You suck, dude. You suck. I think this is supposed to be Mario. Oh yeah, this one is tough. We got to get the keys up to the locks. Yeah, very cool, man. I miss this shit. I am so into vintage video games that like my basement has stand up, like I have do you know what Mr. Do's Wild Ride is? Why? Hi. Hi, blindy. Nope. Mr. Do's. I have Mr. Do's Wild Ride in my basement. This right here. Yeah, this is in my basement right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games back with another cool arcade game video for you this evening.
It's sick.
We've got one that we've never filmed
that
before.
Kind of something
here in our shop that we've been working on.
So my uncle, my whole family is just kind of like hustlers, so a bowling alley was going out of business and they had all these video games, and they were getting ready to no, they weren't going out of business, they were closing the arcade. So this was back like when arcades were kind of dying, like because of like home consoles and stuff. So early 90s maybe. Yeah, it wasn't before 87. So it would been early 90s. So they were closing up getting rid of their old games, putting in like, dude, what was that game? NBA. Oh, hi. Hello. Hello. You're loud. I don't know, the NBA game I played. I forget what it was called. So my uncle picked up all these games. Yeah, my uncle picked up all these arcade games, and he had in his garage there was probably like 7 or 8 of them. He had Galaga, he had Centipede, he had this one. He had a game called Pengo that my dad also got. Pengo was sick. My mom played that one. My mom is a gamer too. My mom is a gamer too. My whole family, my sister plays video games. It's just, I think it's part of, my personal family culture. Yeah, Pengo. Yes, hello. Hi. And I also have a pinball machine in the basement as well. Pengo was a sick game. We don't have that one anymore. We sold that one. Shit, look at the graphics on this one. Again, not bad. Yeah, this was the intro. Like, it would just play this for you. Like, if you just left it alone. It was like a spin on Pac-Man, I think. What you needed to do was line up these 3 blocks with the diamonds in them. You needed to line them, all 3 of them up. So it was a puzzle game. My mom likes puzzle games. She's a Tetris master. My mom played lots of solitaire. Yo, what was the fucking game my mom played all the time? It was a Mac game. It was a game that was on the Mac. Yo, I can't remember. Anyways, it was like a puzzle game. My mom loved Zelda. Zelda was a sick ass game for my mom. I loved Zelda. That was one of the NES games that we picked up later. I don't know, man. Video games have been part of my life forever. Yeah. Let's see how long I've been going. Ooh, hour 18. All right. Well, let's just end it here today. I think this was good. This was fun. I think there's probably some clippable moments. I got to call my dad back, find out what he wants. Probably found another house or needs me to do something or asking me to cut the grass today. Oh, that's actually what I do need to do. I need him cutting their grass, their neighbor's grass, possibly my grass. But, yo. Casey, thank you for hanging out again, man. Always, always, always appreciated. You do too much for me, man. It's very helpful. Super helpful. I appreciate it. But I am out for the day. I didn't even finish my matcha today. Having too much fun. But I got things I got to do. So, all right, man. Thanks again, Casey. I probably won't be streaming today, much more today. I know I got Graston's to cut, so there won't be any Starfield today. And if I will, it will be way later. So, all right, man. I will talk to you later.